Hello guys and welcome back to another locomotive review, and today we are looking at the Rapido Trains Lion. Let's get to it. So just a dead quick look at the box then. It is the Rapido Trains UK box, which I actually really like this. I think it's great. It's a great quality box. It's obviously not easy to get into when you're holding the phone as well. So there's not really out in it because I took everything out obviously, but I just wanted to show you the insides. Bear with. Ta-da! We're in. Right. Lovely foam. That's the block of ice packaging that the logo comes in. And as you can see, you got lots of foam to protect it. There's a little detail bag, which is the little things for over the wheels where the screws are. But I'm not going to put those on because there's not really much point. Because it looks fine as it is. Pop that back, and we'll have a look at the instruction manual, which I actually really like. Yes, I did get this locomotive patterns. There we go. Owner's manual. Read this first. If you don't, lion might bite. Lots of in-depth history here. If you want to pause and read that, you can do. And obviously the rest of it is there. It's just about unboxing the model. All of that running in, couplings, DC operation, pictures of the real thing. Here's what you want. Looks nice. Just talking about taking the body off, etc., which I'm obviously not going to do because I don't really see the point in doing that. For me, anyway. And lots of other pictures of it there. That's the exploded diagram. And then some more pictures of the real locomotive. Lovely little manual, which is, I think, probably the nicest that we have at the minute, like compared to all the other manufacturers. It's my favourite one. I like that a lot. Right, now to the logo. Now you can obviously see how beautiful this locomotive is, and first of all we will talk about the fact that the entire locomotive is made of die cast pretty much. You can just tell by the shine on the metalwork. The finish is incredible, and it's also pretty heavy for its size, and it's very cold to the touch, as you'd expect with a die-cast locomotive. Even the tender chassis is made of die-cast. So yeah, it's not light, but it looks incredible. It is very small, but that's how locos were back in 1837 when this locomotive was built. So it is phenomenal. So, oh my god, that moves. I didn't know that. Look, I found a detail that moves up and down. It's a tender separate. That's boss. I can't get back up now though because my fingers aren't big enough. My fingers are too big, shall we say. Fingers aren't small enough to get that up. Invention, look at this. Cotton bud to lift the floor up. I need my little screwdriver, but I don't know where it is. Dee. Where's my little screwdriver? No. Right, bear with. I found it. There we go. Oh no, it's fell again. There we go. That's really cool. Right, anyway, about the detail, there's a lot. So as you can see, you've obviously got all the springs on the outside. Zoom, focus. There you go. It looks phenomenal. The wheels are gorgeous. All of the riveted detail across the metal running plate there. I love this gap in the front as well. It just makes it look so simple and cool. I love it. The buffers are like so adorable. I love those. They're so small as well. And then you've got this little coupling hook, which is cool. You've got all the little piping at the bottom and stuff like that. And then you've got you've got the moulded sort of cylinder external pieces at the bottom there. And you've got the smoke box. I like the little smoke box door as well. With a little handrail on it to pull it open, which is really cool. Big, tall chimney, which is a thing with old locomotives, old Victorian ones particularly. It is very tall. And then you've got the gorgeous firebox in this gold colour, which just looks incredible, with all the little piping on the top, which is, I believe, are whistles as well. There's one there, all separately fitted. You've got all the pipework as well separately fitted. You've got some more detail across the bottom here. The paintwork is gorgeous with that green and the gold. Got the Lion nameplate beautifully printed onto the side there. I believe that could be separately fitted, but it's an odd one to... Again, the camera won't focus. Stop focusing on the two MX-5s in the background. Thank you. There you go. Flipping it. More obsessed with the mouse. Doesn't might have to move those. Stop focusing on those. Nobody wants to look at masters. Anyway, the cab detail is beautiful. There is some nice level of detail there. It's all painted, etc. Obviously, there's a lot of metal work because the entire loco is made of metal pretty much. I believe it's only these side panels that aren't, which are obviously the sides of the cab. If you want to call it a cab, I wouldn't really say it's a proper cab, but yeah, you know what I mean. They're painted into the green, which is a lovely colour, and then you obviously these sides of the tender, these sides here, I don't think these are metal either, so that's in the green as well. But the sort of burgundy coloured chassis is metal, and it's very heavy. You've got those cute little buffers again. You've got a regular coupling on the back, which obviously does look a bit big on a loco this size, but you can take that off and use them Hornby ones, which are a little bit annoying on the back if you want. But obviously I'm just going to use the traditional coupling because I don't have that rolling stock, and I don't want to have that rolling stock because it's not really much point for me. But yeah, you got coal load, which looks to be removable, but obviously I'm not going to remove that. It's not really much point for me to do that. The locomotive on the other side, you're looking pretty much very similar. You do have that sort of pipe work across the entire bottom of the locomotive. The coupling rods are beautiful, and obviously they have that classic 1800s locomotive where they stick out really far and look crazy. But yes, it's small, compact, and absolutely stunning in every single way. There's a lot of detail to talk about. There's no underside frame detail like there is on the Hornby one, which is not really an issue because he looks underneath the loco. Only when it falls over you're really going to see that. And that's not going to happen, hopefully. But there is a lot of chassis detail, lots of riveting, and it looks fantastic. And then you've got these crank screws, which you can cover up with those little black pieces I showed you earlier, but they're hardly noticeable, so I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to glue anything, and it's not really worth doing for me. And I find it perfectly fine, visibly wise, so nothing really wrong with it. But yeah, we're not going to go 100% in depth. Obviously, you do have all of that riveting as well, which looks phenomenal. There's a lot of detail involved in this locomotive. The other thing, obviously, I have just showed you before, and it is this floor does lift down if you wanted to have a slightly less of a gap, noticeable gap. But the gap's only small because the electrical contacts on the tender is really cleverly designed. It's a nice easy one as well, so it's not like the old Hornby ones with all the wires sticking out. It's closer to the dapple one, so it looks alright. We've got these little metal die-cast little steps for the crew to stand on. You've got the axle boxes there painted into black. So yeah, you do have all of the gorgeous lining and the detail, which is all black and it's all perfectly precise. It is stunning. Rapido have done a really good job with the logo. But I'm not going to go 100% in depth because I don't want to drag on too long. So we will now get this onto the track and show its running characteristics. So there is Lion then down onto the track, and it's looking beautiful. It does look incredible. So a bit of a fun fact, I actually live alongside the Liverpool to Manchester Railway, where this locomotive used to run, obviously famously after the rocket and stuff. So that's quite an interesting feature, and obviously it's a good way to have a home for this, is next to where it used to run in real life. And it is still in preservation. Still does exist in the Museum of Liverpool, or one of the museums in Liverpool. I don't know what it's actually called. It's the one that looks very funny, the white one, on the dock. It's in there. And the last time it actually ran under its own steam was in 1987, which actually wasn't that long ago if you consider that the loco is 186 years old, and it ran at 150 years old. So it's not that bad really, if you think of it that way. So not too bad at all. Right, running, it's got a high quality cordless motor, it's got loads of bearings on the axles, it's a beautiful mechanism. Sam's Trained did go into full in depth of the mechanicals of this locomotive in that aspect, and it is beautiful. So we will use I've got to use a non-feedback controller, which is fine, and you can see it's lovely and smooth. But the controller, when turned off slightly, does actually give a little bit of power through, and it ensures you can run them at super slow speed, which I do quite like that control. Look at that. Got pickups on the tender as well, so it shouldn't cut out on the points. Oh, it did really well then, considering it's got such a short wheelbase. Oh, a little bit. No, it's not too bad. I have much larger locomotives that will cut out on that. It was going uphill slightly as well. Yeah, look at how smooth and controlled and slow that is. That's incredible. And the camera stopped focusing again. What a stupid thing. Yeah, it's phenomenal to see how well that does. How beautifully smooth that is and controlled. And a bit more power. That's as slow as I can go with this controller because of the setting that means it can go do a bit of slow speed on the bottom, but it would probably go slower than that, but that is really slow. That's just so beautifully smooth. Oh, the loco is just so stunning. Right, we're going to couple this up with some coaches. Now, it is incredibly powerful because of its weight, but I'm not going to pile loads of Mark 1 coaches behind it because I think it'll look a bit funny. But I'm just going to try and put some of those four-wheel coaches on. The only problem is I don't have any London North Western or LMS region coaches because the only L&MR loco I have, other than this technically, is the G2A. And obviously I don't have any coaches. I do have LMS coaches, but I'm not really going to do that. So the closest I can get and the things that I think will look stunning with it are Great Western coaches. So it's not going to be prototypical, but it's not anyway because I don't have any Era 1 coaches. So if you wanted it fully prototypical, then it's not going to happen. So yeah, let's just deal with it. I'll stick those on and we'll have a bit of a running session. Right, I've got the Great Western coaches on the layout now. They're not very big, they're also not very heavy, and this locomotive can pull a hell of a lot, so this is literally not going to be anything to this locomotive. So we'll be fine. We also have Terrier Brighton over there on the layout, who's going to be running alongside, because that is the second oldest locomotive I have, with that version of the Terrier being built in 1878. So it's still like 40 years younger than Lion, so just gotta get around to. I'm gonna zoom back out. There we go. Lovely. Now let's reverse Lion into those coaches. Gorgeous. There we go. It's even gonna break a sweat with these coaches. Half speed. There we go. And let's get the Terrier going as well. Don't stop, Terrier. And there's Lion, look at that. That looks like a large load for a loco that size, but I can assure you that is not a big load. And Terrier, please don't stop, Terrier. Stopped again. And then started again. That bit of track must be a bit dodgy. Coaches are squeaky. Oh, did it stop that time? That's odd. And then Lion's just going lovely and smooth round, just nice and slowly. Toot them along. Annoyingly squeaky those coaches on that Terrier. coming around just so beautifully. Oh, like a bird tweeting. That's the coach anyway, that's the problem. There's Lion. Going around beautifully. So quiet now. You should just hear the noise of it going over the track. There we go, and stop. That is the Rapido Trains Lion. What a gorgeous locomotive, and a perfectly welcome addition to the collection because it's phenomenal. It is worth the high price because you do get what you pay for with the fully die-cast construction and all of that. So the quality is phenomenal, and it can haul a nice amount of coaches. This is a small train for this locomotive, so yeah, it is a powerhouse and it looks phenomenal. So there you go. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon for some more videos. Goodbye.